There. All right, I found a live button. I found everything. It's been a minute since I broadcasted on here, so let's find YouTube. Make sure I'm still rocking on there. And if I'm rocking on there, we're gonna start the show. YouTube is coming in now. I just want to say what's up to all y'all, my people out there. Is YouTube there yet? We got StreamYard activity. It looked like YouTube is not showing my face, but what can we do? We don't own YouTube. But anyway, I hope y'all are having a good day. If that's not enough, then I hope you get your $1 million. Wait, what's going on? YouTube, it says excellent connection. I see no video. There we go. 38 seconds in. All right, y'all. Let's check that out. And we're working. Yo, I want to highlight y'all about all the crazy stories that's happening around right here, man, in America, in the city, and everywhere else, man. We got all of these topics and all these scenarios that's popping up. The black lady who shot the black dude. We got the Titanic. We got Boosie getting freed. Oh man, it was a whole bunch of stuff popping, man. I was off of here for a bit because they hit me with a strike. You know, they always on you at YouTube. You know, since the summertime, so they hit me up over the head. And said I had a Kanye West video up from 2 years ago that they fronted me on. To I said, you can't take that down, whatever. So I had a strike where they canceled me from putting on, doing more shows and doing more, videos. I couldn't post and shit for a week. So be careful. It's the same time. So they hit you up. But anyway, man, we also got the white people in the Titanic. Those people who went all over the world to go to the bottom of the earth in the water and died. So they said he died. 5 or 6 of them died. And they all were billionaires and rich millionaires. So it's kind of really kind of fishy about all that. But they are bringing debris up from it. And that's another thing that's kind of crazy. You know, you got that rap boy Casanova. He actually just got locked up for 15 years. And he doing, like, I think they said 130 something months, whatever it is, to sit in prison and shit like that. I forgot how many months it is. But it's like really crazy because he was part of a RICO that happened in New York. So it's like, damn, a whole lot of shit happening. You know what I mean? But let's kick it off with the first one. And definitely like, subscribe. Appreciate y'all coming back to Howard. We're just going to talk about it, pretty much. The Titanic. You gotta let me know in the comment section. Would you take your $1 billion to go to the bottom of the earth or the bottom of the water? It sounds really unique and it sounds fun. It sounds like, whoa, hell yeah, I would. But for me, it's like, does the other technology match up with that? I mean, they didn't seem like they was tethered to nothing, like they wasn't tied to nothing. They wasn't like they didn't have like the Coast Guard on standby. And if you're a billionaire, wouldn't you just pay for that shit? That's like paying for security. Like, hey, I'm gonna go down here, man. Y'all got that rope? Rope me to this thing and drop us in the water. In about 40 minutes after sink, pull us back up. But I would probably be scared to do it because they don't like black motherfuckers no way. So you do that shit and I'd be like, I'm so tired of that motherfucker. He don't tip right. Your ass stuck down in the water. So you'd have to have a bunch of motherfuckers from your hood come with it. Like, hey man, that motherfucker gonna bring me up. You know what to fucking do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy how they went up there and how did America let them do that? Can you imagine some black motherfuckers on 47th Street, 79th Street, Slauson Boulevard, Detroit, talking about some well shit, nigga, we saved up we put all our reparations together. So we made our own boat. We finna go on the water and go on the seas. White people be sitting right there. They would even tase the niggas. They'll tase their boat. Bzzz, their boat would be shaking like a boat. Hey, what the fuck y'all doing? You ain't going down in that water. But you know, as a white people, they able to have access to that. I just don't think they really died. I personally don't. But I mean, what I know. I can't see somebody that rich going to a situation that's gonna kill them. But you know, you would hear and and I know both that a lot of people say, if I had all that money, nobody would find me. If I had all that money, I'd make me a whole new identity. If I had all that money, I'd go to a plastic surgeon. This fool, especially back in the 80s and 90s, used to talk like this. You know what I'm saying? We kids and shit. But now you see people with that money, and they actually doing shit like going to the fucking bottom of the ocean and looking all the way down there. Even the boy who made the movie Titanic, he went down there a couple times. You know what I'm saying? He went down to the Titanic because he made the movie, so he got the money from the movie, and he was able to go down there. You know what I'm saying? To pay his way to go down there. So he was on his shit. But he came back up. He didn't take his money but those people, they built their own ship. That's what I'm like. Y'all built y'all own submersible. What the fuck? But you can do that if you got the money. The dude called himself pushing technology. He couldn't see or foresee that it could be such a danger level. I can imagine the way that thing was set up from what they showing on TV. Ain't no way in hell I would have been on no shit like that. No way in hell. It's like it's controlled by think dumbass shit, a PlayStation controller. It's 17 boats. It take 17 people to boat down the hole, so and 17 people to unboat it. To me, they was dead when they did that. Bolting that shit shut with 17 different what? That's still Joe doing. Would you let somebody bolt something closed and you in that motherfucker and you gotta wait for them to unbolt it? I don't give a fuck how big it is. That would be scary as hell. Like, man, hold on, man. I know it's a coliseum, but goddamn, you bolted the door shut, motherfucker. There's natural animals that the guys feel like you trapped in there. You know what I'm saying? They feel like it's for your safety because they use carbon fiber instead of steel. You know, steel is like what 100 some years more of research, and people know how much it is. So if you want to go in the bottom of the water or any of that shit, you just reinforce the shit with steel. They did something different. They said carbon fiber, which is this carbon fiber kind of thing, and it's threaded like this over and over and over, real thick threads. So it's impenetrable like that. But just like the comics say, that didn't kill them. It was supposed to be an implosion, which is, I guess, the air in a inside of the place, making them people combust and blow up because they didn't have adequate oxygen or some shit like that in there. I mean, I don't know. It's white people shit. I can't imagine them letting. I don't like to even get in a fucking MRI machine. So you definitely ain't putting me in a machine that's gonna bolt shut. Are you fucking crazy? I don't even know how Kobe was taking a motherfucking helicopter to work every day. Like anything white people got total control over, I want to double check it, triple check it, because I'd be feeling like, hold on, these motherfuckers can do something. If planes wasn't like a lot of times you don't see crashes because you ain't flying nowhere, so you ain't hit the news, so you don't think no planes crash. That'll make me not go nowhere too. Like fuck that, bunch of trains falling out of the sky. But some of that shit they got down packed. They know how to make it happen. Like a car, a plane, certain boats, yachts. That shit don't all crash and fuck up. So it's just that those guys took a chance and they took a chance at life and they took a chance on things and you just see how it played out for them. It was kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That some people didn't make it, if you will. You know what I'm saying? But God bless everybody, man, because, you know, maybe they did die and maybe they were just trying. You know, you pushing technology, you pushing humans to another level. So it's got to be some sacrifices along the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure when people was doing the frontier, walking through here, lions ate their ass, or whatever animals, bears, mooses, trample motherfuckers, you know, big ass elephants and mammoths fucking humans up because you the first motherfucker. So it's you only against all this shit. And so it's all gonna affect you or hit you. You know what I'm saying? So it was deep, man, to see what happened to those guys. But you know, then it's like one dude took his son down there. Like, nigga, you couldn't just die by yourself. Brought the motherfucking next generation with you. Like, are you fucking serious? Yeah, that's what he was on. Like, come on, get your ass in here. Let's go make a man out you. You know, the father was saying. And he took him down there and they all died. It's like crazy. But they supposed to be pulling wreckage out now. That's one of the things that's crazy about it. They pulling wreckage up and they looking at the wreckage and trying to figure out like how they died because it's all speculation. Nobody was down there with them to know how the implosion started or whatever happened. So they can all do what it takes to go down there and get that shit and bring it back up so they can find out. White people got money and time. You know what I'm saying? So they said, we're going to figure this shit out. And the Titanic, you would think something like that would be off of people's minds about now. I mean, the shit went down in the fucking 1930s or something like that. Wait, what? 1912? God damn, it was even that far ago. 1912. Wow. So that shit showed you that motherfucker was that. So come on, 1912, man. They still mesmerized by that shit. Oh, you know why they mesmerized by that demon? Oh, this is my opinion. Guess why they mesmerized by all this Titanic shit? The numbers add up to 111. The what? The numbers, it add up to a 111. What's the number? So the Titanic went down 111 years ago. 111. That's why all these people was mesmerized by it. January 1st was 111111. But I'm just saying that if it's that 123 and it went down in a some kind of prophetic thing or haunting the for whatever, you never know all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just me speculating too. I'm one of the people that try to use my brain to kind of dig into stuff. But now that went down, if I'm just sitting here letting YouTube play, it'll be a video that pop up about the Titanic, and you sitting back like, why the fuck they even putting that on my shit? But that's what it is. The Titanic is so important to certain people that they like, yo, this is the most important shit to talk about. So they on that Titanic shit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, as a kid, especially a black kid, I would love to go to the bottom of the earth and the bottom of the water and on top of fucking mountains and on top of rivers and all this shit. But when you a black haired person, especially with my level of intellect, you start thinking, well, who do I have to ask? Okay, so if I want to get on a boat, I have to ask white people. If I want to get on a plane, I have to ask white people. If I want to get a car and be on wheels, I got to ask white people. So that means if I want to build any yacht or a ship liner or any of that shit, a submersive, you guessed it, I got to ask white people. But what about if I want to go out of space? If I want to go see what another planet is like, I got to ask white people. So that means anything to do is for a black guy. I'm not saying the rest of the world. You have to ask white people because they are the people who are in control of those things. And then it's so indignant or locked in with that reality that even if you went to one of these places and you was like, hey, I want to go rent this yacht or I'm gonna see if there's submersive work and it's owned by black people, you're gonna be like, hold the fuck on. How y'all get one of these? Oh, we went to school for this shit and robotics. We smart than the motherfucker. We got businesses in this shit. You'll be like, hold on. I ain't even know black people did this shit, man. So right now I can't rock with y'all. Let me get more information. I'm gonna go ahead and fuck with these white motherfuckers so we can make this shit happen and get it over with. Yo, I got stung by a bee earlier, so excuse me for scratching my neck, but it hit me. It was like a bee invasion on Michigan Avenue today, and they got caught trapped in my hair. I didn't even know it. I went to the bathroom and fucking bees flying out my shit and stung the shit out of me. So it was one of those days. But that was just something I was thinking about. I was like, damn, but they got the money. So if you got the paper and you could take your ass to the bottom of the earth, why not go? Shit, take your ass down there. But like I said, I always want to try that stuff out, as a young man or a person, just to be like, damn, what's it like to be in the bottom of the earth? What is it like to be, doing these things? Because we all humans. You want to know, like, what's it like? What's it like? But as you see, and then I look at those things too, like when they did that plane when we was with that spaceship when I was a teenager. You're a young person thinking about being into submarines or being into water, and you see something like that happen, you gonna get the fuck away from that. And the guy who owned all that shit, this nigga was smart than a motherfucker, man. This nigga went to like some important ass school and shit and that shit. And then he graduated and he started his own business. Then he started working around motherfucker like this nigga. He died. He's the CEO of Ocean Gate. He really focused on that shit and put his life into it. The white motherfucker who died, man. After he put so much heart into it, he pushing the industry. So he like, okay, we did that. Now let's see if we can do this. And sometimes that's where you get kind of fucked up at because you kind of don't know. So he pushed it, 2 miles down. It don't seem like that's a long way. You could walk 2 miles, but that's a long ass way. You can't imagine how deep that is. 2 miles physically is long as fuck. So in Chicago, that would be from Racing to Michigan Avenue. That's about Racing. No, is that Racing? Or is that Ashland? No, that's past Ashland. No, yeah, that's Ashland. So I would say Ashland to Michigan Avenue. That's 2.5 miles. Ashland to Michigan Avenue. That's straight down west to east. Michigan Avenue is east and Ashland is west, and it's 2.5 miles. Because I used to run that shit years ago, and I remember it was like a 2 mile, 2.5 mile run, or 1.5, so, something like that. It's like I forgot, in fact, but basically it's like 2 times around a football field or a track field. You know what I'm saying? It's like twice around. No, it's 8 times around because 4 times is a mile. 4 times is a mile, so 2 times, so 8 times is 2 miles. So I guess that would be 10 times around because it's 2.5 miles. Yeah. So if you could run 10 times around a track field at a local high school or something like that, then you know the distance. You're going in a circle, but you have to stretch that out. So that's why it was like the distance from like the Sears Tower. No, it's further than the Sears Tower, Western. But yeah, I mean, Racing, that's about the same distance and shit. But see, now we talk about water. So in a physicalness like this, nothing is penetrating us to stop us. Nothing is blocking us or making it go slow. But in the water, it's thick. So you're going down there, and that's what kills those people. The pressure from the water that you just left. Like you're going down, you leaving water up there. That water becomes heavy on your whatever that you got in your hand, and so it keeps you still motorized to push yourself down, but the buoyancy is trying to push you up. So it's coming down, coming down. Your motor is pulling you down, and the whole time the earth and naturalness is trying to push you up. Just like if you take something rubber or something like that and hold it up under the water, it'll submerge in your hand, but as soon as you let go, it's gonna shoot back up to the top. They not shooting up; they forcing themselves to go down. So the pressure from above squeezes on top of the machine, and then that's what kills them. It's the pressure. They implode because it's squeezing you so much that inside that breath, your skin, your body, it can't function in that particular air. So they all die. That's what they saying happened. We don't know. We wasn't in there. You would think they had a camera to live stream them. Because they say you could Twitter or tweet from down there. I was like, damn, you could tweet from down there? What the fuck? It's like all this shit that you can't really know if it's true. But that's what they saying. So it's just crazy how that all played out, man. But like I said, you see Elon Musk, you see old boy Richard Branson, they all doing everything that's like billionaires do, jumping out of fucking what's them things, going up in what's those big ass balls and shit. They got the helium. What they call them big ass balls? They got the helium. They go in the sky. It's real huge.
A what?
A big ass balloon. They go in the sky. What's they called? And they got the helium in it. People go up. Air what?
I think it's the air balloon.
Yeah, air balloon. There you go. The big ass air balloons. And you see people doing shit like that. You got to drop the weights out of it to keep going up or some shit like that. I seen in my lifetime. And it was like one of the things as a black person, you're like, damn, if I got money in my future life, I'm gonna fucking do that. But then it's like again, you gotta be like, well, who run that shit? I remember when they used to do some shit called bungee jumping. Remember bungee jumping? Motherfuckers would just jump out of planes and your foot would grab you when you pop back up. But they had so much footage of motherfuckers jumping down off them bungees and dying and keep going. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like I realized after watching videos furthermore in my life that it's like this real thing that these people in these trees in Africa do. Like it's like their life. Like they do this for fun because they live in trees. It's a tree family or tribe in Africa. But to have fun, they tie a rope to their leg and drop down. And then the closer you get to the ground, the more you could win. And I guess white people think that shit and was like, yo, fuck that. This for fun. Let's do it. So and you see Richard Branson and old boy and them doing all this shit. Like I think they went all the way up out of space. And just to go look, at the other planets and close to, I don't think you can go so much. You can only go so far in the machinery they got. And they went up there and came back. So They always tell us that they went to the moon, but technically nothing can go past this specific area in our atmosphere up there. So that's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but you see these guys having money to even try that shit, to even do it. That's why I'm like, you fuck around and see Jay-Z doing that shit in the future. Because think about it, he's 50 some years old now. How many golf games can you play? How many clubs can you? How much alcohol, cigars can you smoke? This will make those white people become daredevils and be like, well, you know what? I think Will Smith was doing all that shit already, so he gonna be an older guy and be like, I don't want to do none of that shit. But if you just been a street dweller and a hood guy, now they give you 90 billion or 90 million. Like, how much is it to jump out this plane? $80,000? Come on, let's pay for two of them. And you just go try it out. Shit. Like, those guys was into that shit. So I don't know why those millionaires and billionaires went. Maybe they was just like, I can pay the fee. He was charging, what was he charging? $250,000 per person to go. So you had to have your paper together because not only did you need 250,000, you needed 250,000 to spend. You know what I'm saying? Most of us get 250,000. You got shit you necessarily need to buy, even if it ain't nothing but student loans. That motherfucker had $250,000 to get rid of, so he just a rich. So I mean, that daredevil shit cost him his fucking life, but it's crazy. What can you say? These people are grown and they making grown up decisions. So you want to risk your life to go to the bottom of the water? Can't nobody stop it. For me, that's not good enough. I'm not going to the bottom of the world. Fuck that. Not to just chill. But I even thought about it. I said, one of the divers who said he went down to the Titanic and like 100, he said 37 dives. He did. I said, damn. I said, if you did 37 dives, 2.5 miles down to the Titanic, you ain't going to visit that bitch. You leaving shit down there. Like they probably didn't went and built them a little area and some shit in that motherfucker where the water don't get that close to it, some shit like that. You never know. When you talk about billionaires and shit, like, yeah, they got a little underwater little cave and shit, they kicking in. You know what I'm saying? It's dry and shit. You watching TV, like, you never know, man. That'd be crazy. But I don't know if y'all heard about that black guy who his boat went and crashed. He African. It crashed in the water. But it was a tugboat, but where the way he got crashed, he was in the bathroom when the boat went down. And when it hit the bottom, the water had left enough for him to breathe. So his head was above the water because the boat went upside down. So he was able to climb up, whereas he can have breath. But it was gonna run out soon. So he was down there for like 3 days, just waiting. Didn't know what to do. He had found a Pepsi and shit inside there. Drinking that, no food, no water, because you can't drink salt water. And if you put your skin in it for a while, his shit start flaking up and going crazy. This black dude, this really happened to do. And so he just down there, he losing his mind because he know he gonna die because you can't swim back up. It's too much pressure in the water. You go and plus you can't hold your breath for 2 miles or whatever the mileage was that he was down under. He was in the Atlantic Ocean. So anyway, he tried to climb himself back out. Well, he didn't. He was just in there basically. And eventually some what they call them, people that was down there, Coast Guard motherfuckers in that part of the world. They was down there on some research shit, not research, but on some big body recovery to recover the bodies that went down because they knew couldn't nobody survive down there. But he went down there and shit, and he ended up. They kept swimming past him. He like, wait a minute, them is motherfucking here. So he went over there and tapped him on the shoulder, like, look, holla at me. And the motherfucker stopped and they pulled him up and they gave him all this shit. They decompressed him and all that shit. And he was able to survive. And that really did happen to this dude. It's like crazy. But he was that one person on Earth that was able to survive, falling to the bottom of the Earth. And it was pitch black, so it ain't even like you can see shit. You know what I mean? Like it's that dark. It's dark, dark, dark. Like it ain't no light, no shit. You know what I'm saying? So no light on the outside of the boat, no light on the inside of the boat. You literally in pitch darkness. And you could probably hear yourself breathing. That's probably the only thing you could do and pray. The old boy said he just prayed his ass off the whole time. And then somebody came down there, some guys came to recover bodies and they was able to So that's the shit that can happen. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no billionaire. He a motherfucker at work. He work on tugboats. They tug big ass boats through like the glacier areas and shit, and so they don't have to use the motors, and they just pull them through. And his tugboat went under. So that's the way of the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. But also, yo, I want to hit y'all about that lady and her son who did the shooting in Chicago. That was really, really a scary scenario. I'm not gonna lie, because the guy was saying, if you watch the video, the guy was saying, "Leave me alone, man. Just get your food. Just get your food," as if he was trying to tell her, "Stop bothering me or stop messing with me." And she couldn't do it, or she wasn't on that. And then that prompted him to be on some, "I'm gonna hit you in your motherfucking face, bitches." But I thought, honestly, I thought he was just talking shit. Very first time I saw the video. But he crossed the Superman line when he started hitting her with them level of punches. It's like, dude, that's a stranger. Like at the end of the day, this lady a fucking stranger. Like she don't know you, you don't know her, and you ain't putting hands on her like pushing her out the way or something. Like you hitting this woman like massive, massive force. Anybody, I wouldn't give a fuck how old you are. If you saw your mother getting punched at that level, if you had a knife, you would run over there and stab his ass. It's just unbelievable. And everybody say about the boy was stopping his mother from taking the gun from him because she was trying to kill the witnesses. Like the guy was with a witness. I mean, in my opinion, if she was talking like that, that was adrenaline.
She wasn't.
Sure.
You need to see the video. Because this what happened. This what happened. They was arguing and stuff. Her son was in the doorway. And what she said was, "Go get in the car." And it was really a misunderstanding. Dude died because of misunderstanding. When she was saying, "Go get in the car," she was not talking to him. She was talking to her son.
Right.
But he thought she was talking to him. And so that probably heightened him even more and or whatever. And it was shortly after that, that's when he started hitting her. But she was talking to her son. She told him, "Go get in the car."
Right.
She was trying to, in my opinion, take the gun from him like you fucking shot him or whatever. And I told you to get your ass in the car. That's my opinion. But you really have to go back, and I don't know if they still had the videos up, and hear the verbiage of what they were saying. She was saying, "Get in the car." And it was like she wasn't talking to the dude arguing with her. She was talking to her son who was standing in the doorway.
And the dude would have not known that that was her son because she was a stranger to him. So that's another play of it that obviously I haven't seen the actual video. My videos I've been seeing, it cut off. It's no sound. It stops before the guy swings. I haven't seen the actual video. And it's just really one of those things where it's like, you know, I almost want to say he got himself killed because he couldn't have known that that child was with that lady. He didn't pick up on that. And that was the reality. And she ended up, the boy seeing it, shot him. And I heard, and even the guy downtown, they told me that the little boy ran. No, the guy who got shot ran. And the boy started shooting at him, behind him. And I was like, yeah, because the kid is 14. He's a video game mindset. So it's like a dog or a lion or even a shark. If you run from him, it's gonna chase you. So the kid has been playing video games all his life. He can't think about why this guy running or what the hell he running for. He aiming and killing. He thinking like it's running just like if you run from a dog or if you run from a cat, anything. If it runs, it's gonna trigger that thing to run after you. It's when you stand your ground and stand up that it chills. But he got shot. I don't know where he shot him the first time. The guy took off running. And the kid lined him up and shot him some more, I guess, and killed him. So they say. I obviously didn't see that part of the video. And then they say the mother got to him and tried to take the gun and tried to kill the witnesses. And I'm like, damn, she was on fire. But could you imagine getting punched in the face like that from a stranger? And as a female, she can't really defend herself. I mean, especially against that kind of aggression that the guy had turned up to on her. When you even see it from our video vantage point, you could tell he turned up on that lady. He turned up, and that's not an everyday thing. Most men are not going to turn up on a person like that. And it's not even so much that you can't get that mad, you thinking about reprisal. Like as soon as I hit or hurt this lady, she might have cousins, uncles, brothers, nephews, whatever that's gonna catch me in the streets and be like, okay, nah, that's him, that's my niece, or that's my cousin. Now you might not be in the moment of defense. You might be older. You might not be around that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things that you really got to be careful with. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's a part of the game. Everybody got to go and step their life into that operation of testing and seeing what life is. And he just tested the wrong people because a kid, I mean, he gonna be traumatized from seeing his mother being attacked. He gonna be traumatized from having to get the gun in his own mind and seeing his mother in there arguing with somebody. So he got the wherewithal to say, let me get my gun. Even if she texts him, bring me my gun. She's only saying that because she understands the venom that old boy is putting out. And that guy, so she might feel like I can't walk away. I'm trapped. If I walk away, he gonna follow me. Like you never know what's going through somebody's mind. But technically, she never shot him. Her son shot him, and he shot him from and and that's the reason why she's got out of jail, and that's why I'm doing updates on all that because it's illegal for you. It was illegal for them to arrest them. The family, the mother and the son, they was arrested because they black. But in Illinois, the law is if one person is fighting another person, a third person can see that and kill the person that they think is the aggressor and get off on it. It's legal. It's the law. So it's like, whoa, wait a minute, what? So if one person is fighting another person and this person is really hurting that person, this other person can kill that person who's doing the hurting and get off legally. And that's basically what happened in that scenario with that boy and his mother. So that's the law in Illinois before they went through their scenario. That's still just the law here. So with that happening, they took them and put them in jail. That violated their rights because you basically not looking at the law. You just gonna do what you want to do. So one of the reporters asked the mother, well, why don't you just go ahead and say forget it and you straight now? He let you off. Like, fuck that. I ain't supposed to be in jail no motherfucking way. This is my right as a citizen to defend myself. And it's your right to say what you want to say. So that guy couldn't tell her, shut the fuck up. Don't say no more. Or I'm going to do this. That's a threat. You know what I'm saying? And the little boy didn't. My mother, let me say again, my mother, I love my mother. She said, I'm surprised that that kid at such a young age didn't talk because most people stand there and talk and be like, hey, what the fuck you doing? He didn't do that. He walked up and was like, boom, boom, boom. And I don't know how many times he shot him, and I didn't think about that level of understanding. That's true. That is absolutely true that he did not talk. He just shot the gun. And that was it. And that meant that man was losing his life that day for putting his hands on somebody. I had a thought this morning. I said, what if he actually was with God and just was so surprised and was like, how the hell did I get dead? And he'd be like, you hit somebody's mother. And he'd be like, oh, with that lady? Like, yeah, that kid that you didn't even see, that was his mother. I was so mad though. Like, I know. But imagine that kid seeing his mother getting punched by it. You got to control your anger. Welcome to heaven. I don't know. It's my opinion. I don't know. But I was just assuming that because it's like that, he lost his life because of that situation. It's really horrible. And the people talking about suing the government, suing them in Chicago. You got to let me know. And when they asked the lawyer, they said, what you think about the suit? Why you suing? And he was like, think about if that was your mother. He said, if that was your mother and somebody punched her in the face and it was on video and you could see her getting punched in the face, would you want her to go to jail after getting punched in the face like that? And I was like, well, that is a deep ass question because, of course, you don't want your mother. If she got attacked by somebody, you don't want mom to go to jail after the attack. That kid defended his mother. And then they said the mother was trying to take the gun and kill the witnesses. This probably what made that scenario and situation so sensationalized because so many people had something to say after the fact. Like so many people was really like opinionized about that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the summertime got everybody busy chasing their own life like that one thing that happened, it had everybody opinions on that one. It was viral for real. So it's just one of those things like that, man. But I know that I hope that kid gets some help. I know just sitting in the jail those few days was like a shock to him. Imagine that you was like gonna play your game or gonna text your homie or your girl. You 14, maybe you're about to go home and think about your future, what your life gonna be like. When you're a kid, you think about things like that. Like, when I'm at the house, I'm gonna go look in this magazine and just wish about all the stuff I want. Looking at home magazines, you never know what a person's life is. That's what I used to do as a kid at that age. And so this is what his imagination is as a kid. You drive, mama say, "Come on, we finna go get something to eat." You ride with mama. You in the back seat or you in the front seat, and then all this chaos come around. It's like a movie happened. And then instead of going back to the house and eating a sandwich, you up in a jail cell somewhere. And they talk about you can't go. Oh, maybe they did go home. I think they turned themselves in like about 3 or 4 days later. Somebody said. So now it's back to not the normal no more. It's like you back at home. Like, are we gonna go to jail for this? Like, what's gonna happen? And then they turn themselves in, and all the chaos ensues. So, but that's just one of those things, man. You got to watch your family. You cannot predict the world. You can't predict life. You can't. Nobody knows what's going to happen the next day or tomorrow, or even tonight, or even a second. It's all we just living, and hopefully we live in a righteous way or the best way, what you consider righteous. Taking care of your kids, taking care of yourself, taking care of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because that was just a bad moment. And it's other stuff happening around the world too. That's not the only thing that occurred, but that was the one that, because I live in Chicago, so that was big news. Everybody was talking about that one. Like, what in the hell? So we never know what the world got lined up. Like, we never know, but you just got to be happy and keep looking. Because I know that lady really happy to be a part of that, but I would say try to find some places to go get something to eat from where you might not have no confrontations. And where is that at? Don't know. But try to find some spots like that. Because if you don't, it's a high possibility you could run into some people that ain't, you know, too happy or too friendly, and then here you go trying to defend your life over a fucking double stack or a goddamn extra fry or whatever the hell. Life is unpredictable. You just don't know. You can never tell. You know what I'm saying? But living a long life ain't guaranteed for nobody. So I guess all you got is right now. Shit. But also, I want to highlight that about that rapper Casanova. I remember that dude. He was making some dope music. He's a rapper from New York, and he was blowing up. Like, he actually was getting billboards. He was changing his life, trying to become successful. And the industry in music is real fickle. It's real crazy because those guys, as he's younger than me, obviously, but he had to put on a certain kind of persona, put on a certain kind of bravado in order for his brand to get noticed, or in order for his brand to get some legs out there. And that bravado, that persona is gangster. So he affiliated with some gangster dudes in that city of New York, and then ultimately, eventually, they got hit with a RICO case, and that RICO case landed him in jail. And so they saying that he was continuing a criminal enterprise by helping him with his rap success and money. And I guess he just pled guilty to that. And they gave him 15 years in the Fed. So they say he get out in 2035. And it's like 2023 right now. So it's like a nice stretch. A nice stretch. He got a little time on his hands. So he got to do a bid. And it's just crazy though, because you thinking that, somebody gonna make it, they gonna, he out the hood, he ain't in the streets no more where he used to be, performing on stage. A lot of times, like for somebody like me, I'm older though because I've been listening to rap forever. So it's like a dream come true. Like, look, nigga, you really did make it. You can fucking do your music now. You can go and be a success story. Like, you did it. You should be happy. But then it don't be like that. It don't be like that. Niggas don't be all that happy. They life don't. We can make them feel that good. So, or like I always be hearing, they got bad contracts, or they took a loan from a record label, and they in a deficit, and it's like you got to do something now. I'm not saying none of this is what happened to that guy. I'm just saying the music industry is kind of rough when you sign a new music deal, or if you're independent. It's not for the faint of heart. You do get the accolade of people liking you and saying, "Oh, look at you, you big time artist," and all that. But it's a journey and it's work. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody and I think about this from my youth, ain't nobody out here. You don't see even LL Cool J. He even went to acting, and they didn't take everybody to acting. Like you think that everybody would go to acting like from my youth. No, just one or two people. The rest of those guys got to do concerts if they're gonna make money, and that's from Slick Rick to it was a guy who was big when I was a kid. God damn, it was a kid. It was a special ed. I mean, this dude was like all the girls loved him. This would taught me about time. Because imagine if they was making it in the industry today, they'd be 50 years old. They'd be 50-year-olds. They wouldn't be the funness of what they was projecting us that they were as in their teens or in their early 20s. And then that fame that they gave them, they ultimately kept the money from those guys. And they still collecting that money from their music today. And those guys get like 10, 13%. So I don't know what Casanova deals was or who he was signed to, but he got on the radar of the feds, and they made sure that they snapped him and locked him up. And I know, and they, just recently he had a whole video came out that he had got into a thing in prison where he got stabbed up. So it was almost like, damn, and they say he was denouncing the gang and all this. And he said he was denouncing the gang. So I don't know if any of that shit is true or if it was just news that they were just putting out there because, he was getting so close to his case. Then they say he got stabbed up, or he got, stabbed once. So they say. But they said that he did get with the guy who did it, like him and some other guys. They caught the guy who did it. So we'll see if any of that is true. You know what I'm saying? I know sitting in the feds or even getting a sentence like that's tough. You know what I'm saying? But he had a chance, I tell you that much, to make it and make his money and rap. But I don't know why they don't leave the streets alone when they get to a certain level of success or when people start noticing them and giving them a chance. I don't know why they continue to be on that. You know what I'm saying? It's just probably fun. It was probably that you just don't think they can watch it, you specifically. You know what I'm saying? Like, why me? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think that if you got any kind of smarts, that as a black person, you're being watched, you're being seen. I mean, what can you do about it? Absolutely nothing. But I think that as a black person, you know that. I mean, come on. Then you got to think about it. What do people that watch people and have that access, what more do they have to do? I mean, come on. What are they really doing? Nothing more. That's kind of fun, probably, to peer into people's lives until you can find them doing something felonious. But what we know, we know, we just living our lives. It's not my career. I connect. I don't even know if that kind of job exists, but we know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, that dude got locked up. They took him and sent him up a river, and now he in a bed. And the feds is probably tough. Like somebody said, he's gonna probably have to do 85% of that. So you're looking at about 12, 13 years. Or I think they put your release date straight out on the apps. Because it's public record. So if you're in a federal prison, it's a public record. So they put your release date on a federal prison inmate website or something like that. You can just look anybody up and see they out date. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things that you know what I'm saying. You gotta see how it all play out. But I know, I wondered to myself. I said, "Dag, do he ever regret not being able to tell old boy and them he got to move around? Like, hey, you see where I'm at now? I can't, I don't know why they don't do that. Like, I think that if you're in a gang and your boys fuck with you heavy and they love you and they see what you're doing, they'll be like, hell yeah, you good. You ain't got to rock out here, man. But if we need you, we need you. And that could have been his situation. He might didn't have to go to meetings and show up at the what's name house and all this stuff. But, he just hit them with money. And maybe phone calls or wires. I don't know how they caught him. But indeed, they connected him to the violence that those people was doing. You know what I'm saying? And that's like crazy. Like, damn, guilty by association. So he got locked up and shit like that. So just crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all listening to my podcast, rocking with me. I thought I had saw a dope movie recently, and I wanted to tell y'all about it. I can't remember what movie it was no more now. But if I could remember it, I'll make another one. I'm gonna tell y'all all about it. What movie was that I had saw recently? I can't remember what movie. I was just scanning to see what I run across that movie and all of that shit like that. But I didn't run across it. YouTube. Oh yeah, I do know what else I wanted to talk about. The BET Awards. They had the 50th reunion of the BET Awards, and it was not a lot of people was not even mentioned, like Master P, No Limit, all and the what's the boys Cash Money guys. These guys was pioneers in hip hop. It's like, but they were so underground that you see they don't even want to acknowledge them. So it's almost like if you were signed to a white company, Sony, you name the companies. If you were signed to a white one, then they'll acknowledge you. Warner Brothers, they'll acknowledge you in the hip hop genre. They said that uh, they gave Busta Rhymes like a lifetime achievement award or something like that. And but he deserved it because he is a pioneer in the game. But it's like, it's other guys than just New Yorkers that was, even like I said, down south they put in some heavy working down south, especially back then. Like we listened to Master P like literally for real. Like this is not like it was everything they dropped album after album. You found somebody with it. We bumped every song because it started becoming like a part of the streets. It was Master P had really penetrated and permeated our neighborhoods. Like he was there. And then you talk about Cash Money. They came a little bit after that, like close to 2000, and they hit it hard too because they even started coming with movies. Master P was coming with movies. You talking about a movement, man. And you just think that stuff like that is never going to end. Like this is the naivete of growing up. You just don't think nothing like that's going to end. And then when it does end, and they move on and they push through, and they add another thing to it. Like I remember when Master P was going out, and we were kind of wondering, like, well, what happened to Master P? They hit us with 50 Cent so hard that it was not even a second. No, he got shot, he survived, boom, new music, and it was fire. Like, oh shit, Dr. Dre fucked with him. Whoa, you forgot about Master P. And then right when they started getting a little bit done, they hit us back with Dr. Dre and Kanye West, brother, and his whole team. So you're not even, hey, Master P, that's right. Wasn't you just the man in 97, 98? What happened? He didn't, nothing happened. We moved on. We're not paying attention to them so much anymore. So it's like that it's a cycle. It's cycles in, cycles out. They bring new people in and they push new people out. So but that's just a position to show us that we still don't own our music. We don't own what music is. Right? We the ones decide who is the dopest. We the ones to decide who we want to hear. We the ones who decide who get to stay. Because somebody even made a point to me recently. They said, "How is Beyonce and Jay-Z still making music when they was making music in the '90s?" I said, "Damn, you know what? That's true. Jay-Z dropped in 1996. So if somebody was born in 1996, like my daughter, they're gonna be 30 years old in a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So that means in 26, 27, Jay-Z don't necessarily operate and drop music anymore, and he should, because why they stop, it's all off of popularity. And the white people get you trapped in your music's supposed to sell a certain amount. And if you don't do that, then you're a loser or you less than. So that's why they don't keep dropping music, because then that's the way to dish you. Oh, look, your last album only sold this, that, and the other. You're not a GOAT. You're not the best. You're not this thing. It's all wrapped up in consumerism and money. And that's why an independent person is going to always be more successful than that, because his art is going to be wrapped up in responses from the people and the energy it took into creating it, not necessarily what the charts or the stats say, because that's just somebody else is actually in control of those things, and they can manipulate those numbers and tell you what's happening in this regard, but you don't have a way to double check it, or you don't have your own system. You know what I'm saying? So before the internet came around, we was all, as black people, saying we need our own Nielsen ratings, because they always keep telling us is that Nielsen is back. Nielsen is this, Nielsen is that. You know what I'm saying? They don't never let us really be on Nipsey and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm picking my damn finger and shit, going crazy, talking shit. Let me go and take a leak, and I'm coming right back. You don't move, motherfucker. I was gonna eat some food tonight, but I doubt it. I don't even think I want to eat no food tonight. But when you smoke marijuana, you kind of gotta eat something. You got some of those chicken breast pieces? I should have walked away. That'll be it. All right. We back in this mother oven. And I need to go live like this every day, all day. So we can talk that smack, man. There's a lot of stuff I see happening around the world that I want to talk to y'all about and kick it with y'all about. But we got to be rocking with each other, man. I know y'all rock with me. I got to close this window here. Window closed. Woo. So yeah, that was some funny shit. I got bit on my neck. I mean, stung on my neck too. It was crazy. One of them was locked in my hair. Well, I guess they both was locked in my hair. And I went to the bathroom, and that's when I got a chance to see them. They popping out. I'm like, damn, bees in my hair. But yeah, I mean, bees. They was everywhere. I don't know if somebody hit whatever they call that thing. They little honeycomb. I'm talking about probably was about 50,000 to 100,000 bees. I'm not kidding. They was everywhere. They wasn't going slow. They was flying fast as hell. That's why I didn't know why. But I guess I should have looked at that and said dangerous. But it was like 10,000 white people walking around, not caring about shit. Like, I'm talking about bees coming past so fast you couldn't believe it. It was just everywhere. I didn't even think about it though, because you know they got a lot of plants and shit like that on Michigan Avenue. I was tempted to film it, but I was like, ain't nobody gonna camp be to see the little bitty ass bees flying through the camera. Then I go to the bathroom and get stung. What the hell? And it hurt like a motherfucker. As soon as you realize it, I ain't scream like that, but I was like, I ain't screaming at all. Oh God. Yeah, man, them people been through it. You know, I'm always lighting up my goody two shoes out here. I love my smoke, motherfucker. But thank y'all for fucking with me. My new movie, Killer Rapper, is on Amazon Prime. You can go see that. I got my other movie coming out soon. We're about to start producing and shooting it. It's just working on the story idea and all the elements that go along with it. You know, so filmmaking is my first love. But I got some music videos I shot, and that's on my other channel. Yusef 2 times. Yusef is my first name. Hood is my last name. And that's why you got such a dope dude. I was watching Corey Holcomb show today, and he was talking to Lil Lewis. Man, I know y'all like Lil Lewis. Who's that? Lil Lewis is the person who created house music. He's from Chicago. This makes his 49th year of making house music, DJing and shit like that. So by the time I was a teenager, that's who parties we went to. He was like the ultimate party. Like if you can go to a Lil Lewis party, he was like in, if you will. One of his biggest songs is a song called French Kiss. And French Kiss was a song that's sped up and slowed down. You know, I think it was like, I mean, if you're a dance person or if you're into this type of shit, you heard this song and it was big. My God, you can look it up right now. Lil Lewis French Kiss is fucking big. I know you probably heard it. So he made that song and much more. But when we was kids, he was like the person to go see as a DJ, and all the bitches you want to find was at the motherfucker. The finest bitches in the city, and so it was a place called the Bismarck that they went. That was like a hotel. Boy, that motherfucker used to crack so damn hard. It was, oh my God. That was a teenager, so I was at all that shit as much as I can go. We caught the bus, caught the train like that. It was you can go. Because, you know, he was on the bus as a teenager. Like, my buddy ended up getting a car. I think at 16. And so he was riding in his car. I think he started being able to drive at 15 or some shit. It was like crazy. He was riding in his car every damn day. So that was back in the day. Going to them parties and shit like that. But do have a 49th anniversary of being a DJ here in Chicago this Saturday. And it's going to be like the Riviera. The Riviera is a club. If you live on the South Side, you go to the Riviera because it's way away from the South Side. It's up north and then way up north. It's far as fuck from where we live on the South Side. So that's what the club is. It's like you jump in a car, we on the road like 25 minutes. It's like a 30-minute ride from that bitch just to get back downtown. Then from wherever the fuck you live from downtown back to your crib. So it's a stretch to get to that bitch. But you know, now, well, I think when I got a little older and stopped going up there, the gang shit was crazy out down there. But the gang shit wasn't so crazy when we first started going. Over the years, it got even crazy. It got crazy after a while. Up north, I didn't even know gang motherfuckers was up north like that because we teenagers. What the fuck we know? And then eventually, as I got older, we stopped going to the Riviera, but the Riviera was the spot. And that's where old boy throwing his anniversary party at this weekend. Lil Lewis is going to be at the Riviera. That motherfucker be going crazy. I almost be like, baby, you want to go to the Riviera? See Lil Lewis? My lady, she ain't in the club. She never was into all that shit. And I got away from it too in my life. You just outgrow things, that's all. And then, honestly, where hip-hop got so fucking more famous, you know what I'm saying? House music was a little feminine to me. You know what I'm saying? Dudes was wearing like really gay clothes and gay hairstyles and shit. But this is in the 80s and early 90s, so it's probably not like that today. I mean, I'm sure it's not like that today, but when I was a kid, it was just kind of wild to see. You like, why is that dude hair like that? And now, as I got older, they call that hairstyle a bob, a B.O.B. or some shit, but it was a dude wearing it at the club. And I'm thinking like, I ain't know nothing about wigs either, so that could have been a fucking wig. Like, I just don't know. But I was a teenager, so it was like, I'm 17, like, I don't know if I will, you know, then obviously rap music was going fucking crazy. So you talking about NWA, Eazy-E, motherfucking everything out of New York, from you name it, from Gangstar to motherfucking, what's the nigga's name? Tribe Called Quest. Everybody was out there. So, you know, there's so many more options. You know what I'm saying? Poor Righteous Teachers was out there. Motherfucking, what was the niggas and shit? Pocket Full of Stone Boys and shit. A-Ball, no, they was out there too, but it was the other guy. Damn. Bun B. Oh my God, Pimp C. I forgot the name of their group though. Soldiers. Man, but this shit was so good because they had a song called A Pocket Full of Stones. That shit, man, that was some dope shit. And it was even more underground groups like Top Authority and motherfuckers like that a lot of people didn't hear of, but we would hear it in the hood, or even I remember when I heard Wu-Tang, that was underground and a motherfucker. They'd play it on the radio, the college radio station. That's how you would hear that music. And I was fucking, man, I bumped the shit out there. So you have to tape it. And then you have a cassette tape of it. Boy, everywhere playing this shit. So I want to thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for rocking with me. This your boy Hood. I fucks with you. You fucks with me. And we gonna kick it again. Peace.